podcast. What do you got going on there, Chama? What's so funny?
It's because I didn't. Just go ahead. It's better.
You weren't expecting me to start it?
No, it's that he's talking about cookies and you're.
Oh, I mean we could cut that out, but maybe we
No,
probably won't. Yeah,
it's
Joel
it's super
owns the fact that he likes cookies. Who doesn't like cookies? Anyway, on this one, we're gonna talk about the NFL playoff bracket and our predictions for that. So
Who's gonna start?
I guess Joel's taken out, but I was thinking we should start with Lemons because he's not here and we have his bracket.
Agreed.
Lemons hasn't been on either of the two live podcasts that we've sent, but he was on podcasts that we never posted.
It might see the light of day one of these days.
Indeed.
So, we would just want to start with lemons then?
So I guess Joel's just eating, huh? Cookies.
Why would you
On
choose
brand.
now?
What's the point of the yogurt? I feel like it's the bad time to eat yogurt after you eat cookies, you know? Because yogurt's not as sweet as cookies.
It's Greek yogurt. It's like a good balance.
Less sweet.
I like you gotta have the
I don't know.
sweet and sour, but
I feel like
really sour.
like if you're looking for that, you would just get milk because it's cookies.
I don't have
Indeed.
milk. It's expired.
Anyways,
Milk.
so lemons playoff bracket. So we'll start. You guys want to start in the AFC or NFC?
Doesn't matter.
Pick.
He's a Packers guy, so we'll start in the NFC.
Yeah.
All right,
And
and
yes, Packers in the Super Bowl.
All right. So the Packers have a first round bye, obviously, because they're the 1 seed.
I didn't even know that.
So the second seed is the Saints, and they're matching up against the 7th seed, the Bears.
I really thought the Saints were the first seed. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, the Packers.
When did the Packers pass them? No,
Did you look at the bracket?
obviously
A
not.
couple weeks ago.
No, I mean Hamlin just sent you the bracket.
I mean, I glanced at it. I think the Chiefs are playing somebody. No,
The
but they have a
Chiefs
bye,
know
don't
our-
they?
The Chiefs
That's
are
why I
not
remember them.
playing
They have a
somebody.
bye. And watch, I'm gonna have the best bracket out of all you guys.
All right,
Probably.
so the Saints and the second seed Saints are matching up with the 7th seed Bears. Real surprised he has the Saints winning that one.
The
Seahawks.
One of you guys, I can't wait for one of you guys to pick the Bears. I can't wait for one of you guys to pick the Bears.
Hey man, if they put Nick Foles in,
Seahawks
Also-
Rams. He has the Seattle Seahawks beating the Rams. I'm
So I need
assuming.
to put the Bears and the
Casual.
Rams right now.
Oh yeah, because the jinx.
I gotta pick against them.
And then for Washington and the Buccaneers, he has the Buccaneers, and that is his wild card. So then in the divisional round, he has the Packers and Bucks matching up, and then obviously he's a big Packers guy, so he's gonna have the Packers winning that matchup. And then the Saints versus Seahawks, he has the Seahawks knocking off the 1 seed. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. If they let Russ cook, maybe
Hold
they
on.
can do it.
I know that he can't defend himself here, but like, is he really that confident that the Packers are just gonna beat the Bucks? Like, the Bucks blew him out last time.
Hard to beat a team twice though.
He's
By a lot.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
It's easier to beat them the second time than if you lost them the first
Yeah, but no, hold on.
It'd be one thing if it was like a last-second field goal the first time.
time. It was 38-3 or something.
They got blown to pieces. It'd be like, well, now we know that worked. Let's just do that
Rodgers
again.
had his worst game of that
By
season.
far. Should have lost MVP right there, but people forget.
Relax.
So do you think
Obviously,
Mahomes should be
you're
MVP right now, Joel?
No, I'm kidding.
How many touchdowns does Mahomes have?
38.
Six.
So what you're saying is Brady
36.
should be MVP. That's what Joel thinks.
No.
Because
Brady is
Aaron shouldn't.
Brady is one.
And Brady has
Josh
40.
Allen would be second.
Mahomes
How many?
is
What does
14.
Josh Allen have? How many touchdowns does he have?
40 something.
No, I think. Wait, Josh Allen's 40?
He has 40 something, like passing, and then a couple rushing, I think.
No, it's okay. So it's. Oh, you're talking about combined? Then yeah.
Well, I'm talking about
Passing-
passing. He has 40
I don't-
something.
Does he have one?
No.
Yeah, I think
The
Brady
only
was
people that have
second.
40 is Brady and
And
Rodgers, and
Rodgers.
there's one more and Russell Wilson. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're right. He has 37 passing.
So
And
it
so
would be
total,
it would be Brady.
Barely has.
Sounds like
Listen.
Brady should win MVP. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
No.
I think
What,
that
what seed, they didn't even win their division.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Six
because
seed, the fifth
all
seed.
that matters is what wins is not a QB stat. Remember Hamlin? Wins
It's not.
is a
I was
team
gonna say, don't
stat.
talk to me.
Wins is
Don't talk to me. I was gonna say, don't talk to me.
You have to win. You have to win to be the MVP. Like they're not going to give Deshaun Watson MVP at 4-12. Like even though he's
if he
probably
threw 50 touchdowns, they would.
Not if they were
there
4-12.
someone that
Yeah, they
was
would.
there a
It'd
fifth seed
be
that was
it'd be a really good discussion.
Listen, man.
Yeah.
If
Has it been?
obviously if there's people that are close to 50, let's say he had 50 and the next person had 40, they would give it to him. Like, there's
Adrian
no way they
Peterson.
wouldn't.
40 guy.
What-
If the 40
what,
guys had 14 wins,
They wouldn't care. That's like the 10 touchdowns is a lot of difference. That's like saying like it's like Calvin Johnson when he broke the record. It's like offensive player of the year, even though his team sucked. Like it doesn't matter.
that offensive player of the year is way different than MVP.
So you think that there's no chance that a loser can get the MVP no matter what stats they put up?
I mean, it depends what the second play.
Let's say it was the year where 30 touchdowns was the leading league, 35. A couple years ago it was what 37,
50?
and versus 50. There's no chance that they wouldn't give it to him.
Dude, if the MVP is picking third overall, come on, man, they're not gonna give it to him.
It's not his fault that he's picking third overall though.
I
If he
know,
throws
but
50
How he
touchdowns,
plays in the team.
obviously it depends on like
I'm just saying
how he
it
threw 50
works,
touchdowns.
dude. I'm not saying what should be.
No, I am telling you how it works. They would give him MVP.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it'll ever happen. So I don't think we have.
Well, it's already crazy that Deshaun has been playing so well and that there's like losing so much.
Yeah, if you throw 50 touchdowns, there's no way you win 4 games.
Yeah.
Or
It would be
unless your
hard.
defense. Unless
It would
your
be
defense
tough.
is
I mean, it would have to be
very
it'd have to
Unless-
be
it would
one of
have-
the worst
it would have to
defenses
be
of all time.
It would have to be the Chargers or something, where your offense and your defense are ranked number 1, but you don't make the playoffs.
That happened a couple years ago.
It did happen. Yep. I mean, the Chargers have a top 10 ranked offense and defense this year, and they're not in the playoffs.
But anyways, so yeah, he has the Packers beating the Buccaneers and the Saints and the Seahawks beating the Saints in the divisional round.
Well, hold on. What I was gonna say, because we were talking about the Packers, I was saying that the Packers played their worst game of the season, and I think that they're obviously gonna show better when they play the Bucs again. If they play the Bucs again. So
We'll see.
I mean, I guess you're rooting for Aaron Rodgers to just suck, so that
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
No, I think Brady like plays really well against Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers seems to not play as well
his
against
time
Brady.
to suck is.
I mean, before that,
Like it's not a one-time thing. Like when is the last time the Packers or Rodgers has beaten Brady in a head-to-head matchup? I feel like
it was literally the
they
last
struggle
time
all the time. What was it last year?
No, the last time
2 years.
Rodgers
2 years?
and Brady played. No, I think it was before that. I don't know, actually.
Because
think it was
last time
like
I
2
remember
years.
when the Packers played, they lost, and they like played
Last time
bad.
the-
Like they did. It was the
last-
same kind of thing.
The last time they played,
No.
the Patriots won 31-17.
No,
Like,
I remember it
yeah.
before that because there was.
It's a thing.
Hold on. No, it's not. What
Okay.
I'm saying is that I remember watching the Packers versus the Patriots, and Darrell Reeves was on the Patriots.
So
And they lost.
2014.
yeah, that would have been
2014
6 years
is
ago.
when the Packers won.
They don't play each other that often because they're in the opposite conference.
Yeah,
Packers
every
won
4 years.
26
Every 4
to
years.
21.
They play every
Packers
4
won
years.
26 to
Yeah.
21.
Yeah. And I don't remember what it was like before that, but.
And that was the
most
year that
recent
I
memory.
remember that game. That was the year that Brady almost won with Kendrick Tompkins and Aaron Dobson.
He
Indeed.
has
Somebody dropped a game-winning touchdown. One of those jabronis did. So
I think one of them are like in prison.
play-by-play.
Don't call me on that.
it's too late. It's on record.
They missed. No. I don't know if
Nathaniel
they did.
Chamba, Aaron Dobson is in prison.
Or Kendall Thompson's one of the two. Or they were in prison. Anyways, Hamlin, you should continue. I just
All
wanted
right,
to
so
say
then in the
That
NFC
wasn't.
Championship,
That wasn't this year. Strawn. This year they had Brandon LaFell,
So then they must have played the year before.
Michael Humanawinui.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Saints.
Omanawinui.
who
Indeed.
Manawanui.
Oh,
It is
Tim
this is
Wright.
irrelevant.
Yeah, it is very irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Okay,
That's what I
so
said. Very irrelevant. I am agreeing with you.
Okay.
NFC Championship game. NFC Championship game. He has the Packers facing the Seahawks, the Fail Mary rematch, and he has
The
the
Packers
Packers
winning.
winning. Indeed. So then I'll leave the Super Bowl till last after we go through the AFC. So, but he has the Packers making the Super Bowl from the NFC. Shocker. He's a homer.
All I want to say
So
is
then-
There's gonna be a lot of that this pod.
for all
There's
of
gonna be a lot
your
that this
for,
pod.
for all of you bettors out there, take what he just listed and then vote the opposite in every single way, and you probably will do very good. Because Lemons is known as the jinx.
Literally.
Like it's
He's not-
uncanny.
he's not-
It's
he's not
been
here
for
to
years.
speak- He's not here to speak into existence, so I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be as powerful.
Indeed.
But I
as
mean,
if he
they
was
are his
in-
true thoughts, right?
If he was in the pod right now, I would have been putting it on bed right.
Still won't score any points off of it.
As he's saying, guaranteed paid Manning a Super Bowl right there.
If y'all sign Foles, you'll be playoff bound.
Hilarious.
Cursed your franchise.
All
But
right.
is it
So
a curse? I mean, how else would you have gotten Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Dude,
I guess.
Lucky, you better hope he doesn't make any predictions for old Trevor Lawrence.
So. Listen, I told you he's not strong enough to deter
Don't
Trevor
tempt-
Lawrence.
Famous
I know.
last-
I want the
famous
smoke.
last
Tempt
words.
it. Tempt it. Do it.
You
Do
be
it.
careful.
Do
Famous
it.
last
Do
words.
it.
Listen, Stern, I'm your
Famous
friend.
last words.
Do it, Chamba. Do
I
it.
want you to be.
They're going to take Urban Meyer and drafting Justin Fields.
Listen.
That's what's going to happen.
That's not gonna. Like everyone's bringing that up. There's no way that happens. There's less than a 0.00% chance. There's actually less than a
Question: Have
fake
you seen
number.
the stuff, Sterling, about the Texans, the trade to Deshaun?
Yeah, but I
Watson
mean,
and Trevor
listen. You know what that stuff is? That stuff is Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp are wanting to talk about like interesting things on their show.
Lawrence? I haven't seen.
That's well, I have. That's who I saw talk about it. They were the first people that talked about it. They like tweeted about it and then they talked about it on their show. It's more of like a
I just
thought
saw it
experiment.
on
Huh?
ESPN News.
Well,
Just
it's not-
randomly, I just saw an article on it.
You saw an
I'm not
article
that you
saying
didn't see it.
that Deshaun Watson and the Texans are thinking about trading for the first overall pick with the
No,
Jaguars.
I'm
Not
saying
thinking
that
about
this-
it.
Not thinking about it. It was just like
Yeah, it was a
It's
thought
a thought-
experiment.
it's a
It was
thought
it was just a thought experiment, and it started with
That's
Shannon
all I'm
Sharp and Skip
asking.
Bayless. Like, you know what? You know why you saw that, Chamba? Because of the exact reason that you clicked on there. They were like, "Man, this is a cool experiment, and we guarantee you that people are going to click on this." Case
well,
in
it's also
point.
because it was followed up by the fact that like Deshaun Watson's unhappy with.
And you think he would be
hiring
happier on the
regular
Jaguars?
managers. No, I'm not. I'm not going
Why would
against
he
that
want to go to
either.
the Jaguars?
I'm just saying.
Why would the
he's not
Jaguars
choosing,
want to take
he's
that
getting
trade?
traded.
And why would the Texans want to take that trade? There's no like.
He's not choosing. He's getting traded. Or
If
or
Deshaun Watson
and
gets
they also
traded,
said-
he's choosing straight up. Like,
I
Deshaun
don't think
Watson's
so.
not going where
He was
doesn't
already
wanna go.
he was already unhappy that they
Because
didn't-
Chamba, no one's going to give up 3 first-round picks for a person that's not going to play for them.
Dude, if Antonio Brown can force his way not to go to Buffalo, you don't think Deshaun Watson can force his way to go anywhere he wants? Literally, like if
Well,
if
It's because Deshaun Watson will just tell that team, his agent will tell that team, like, I won't
Literally.
play for you guys. Like, you have to trade me
Literally.
too.
So
And so then they were not going to be
Antonio
like,
Brown.
should we give 3 first-round picks for the fear that he might not want to play? There's no way that's going to
Antonio
happen.
Brown didn't go to
So,
Buffalo
anyway.
just because he didn't want to play for them. Like,
So Hamblin, I understand that he can just refuse to play, but what I was talking about is that he was unhappy that they didn't involve him in discussions for the GM job, which
Yeah.
I don't know if
Florio was talking about that.
I don't know if
That
he
is what that was the actual thing out of the camp. That was
in
what
the
they
head
said.
coach job, yeah,
Yeah.
GM and head coach search.
And that was only because
Yeah.
the owner had said that he would involve him.
And
And
then
he
he
didn't.
So,
And then the owner said
Oh,
that they
man,
were
the
gonna.
Texans.
Then the owner said that they were gonna build a wall of a football franchise, and then the person
He
was
found,
like,
Deshaun
somebody
Watson
was.
found out about the Nick Casario hire on social media.
bad.
But like, how
Well,
out of
that's
touch do you have to be to be like,
I'm only
we're gonna
asking-
build a
I'm only
wall of this franchise?
Oh.
Why
I
would
was
you
only
say
asking this
that?
question because I want to know what you would.
'Cause he's
like, get
racist.
as a preference.
No, but like, what does that have to? Why would you even bring that up around?
his dad was the one that said we can't let these the
Inmates
whatever
run
the
the-
inmates
run-
run the prison. The prison. Why would you use the prison?
Oh my god.
But yeah, like
Were you too much, Chamba?
the
Oh, so I was just saying that I was asking that question because there was that one, and then they were also saying that the Dolphins might also try to trade Tua to the Texans
Mhm.
in exchange
See, that's an
for that
interesting
third pick. For that third
Oh,
and
pick.
with
and
the
it would
third
take
pick.
3, 8,
And
and next year, and Tua
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, so they get Tua and they also get the third pick.
I mean,
which is
see
like-
that one
I
seems
want-
that one
I
to me
would
seems
take
more
Walter
likely.
Wilson.
But it's just like with the Jags, like it's one of those situations where I don't think either team would be willing to do that. The Texans wouldn't want to give in their division, and they think that Deshaun Watson's good. Like it's like
I
it's
think-
like I don't think the Chargers would trade the first pick for Justin Herbert. Like it's
They
they
wouldn't.
have somebody that they
wouldn't.
think is good, and I don't think the Jaguars would want to like trade it either. It's like
But
They-
For the
It's one of those
Tua and
like
the third
high
pick
risk
sounds
things that
pretty
are
interesting, though.
huh?
I said Tua and the third pick sounds pretty interesting though. If Deshaun Watson's a malcontent and he just like not.
Yeah, I
gonna
mean
wanna,
he'd have to refuse to play, but then
Indeed.
you have to also hope that
He's
he
already
like
talked to
is he gonna want to play
to
for the
some of his
Dolphins?
teammates.
Like this is
Talked to some of his teammates
Yeah,
that he
yeah,
was-
he's gonna want to play for the Dolphins, of course.
why would he?
Our
I
good
mean,
team.
maybe he
The
would.
Dolphins
I
are
don't
a good
know.
team.
I don't think he's
They
just
went
picking.
to the
I don't think
Dolphins
he's just
are winning
picking
games
based
with
on whether
Brian
teams are
Fitzpatrick.
good. If he's a
I
malcontent
think- I
enough to
mean,
the point where he's not gonna play,
I would assume he would want to play for Brian Flores. Brian Flores. is
so
like
he wants to
a
go
good-
back to the Patriot way to escape the Patriot way.
He does hate the Patriot way.
he just
That is
doesn't-
what this is about.
That is what all this is about. Brian Flores is
Indeed.
gonna treat him the
That's
same
true.
way.
It's, he said that he said he doesn't like he doesn't mind the Nick Caserio hire. He just doesn't want to be lied to or something like the owner said that he would involve him in the talks, and then he
Listen,
just
man,
didn't involve him. in the
Deshaun
talks.
Watson is from the same cut as Jalen Ramsey. They're represented by the same
Well,
trucking
like this,
whatever
this
agent.
happened when they
It is
traded,
more than just that, man.
When they traded DeAndre Hopkins without even talking to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was like kind of like not like super.
He was a little
like,
disgruntled.
he was indeed, and he went to ownership, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll talk to, we'll have you be more involved." And then during the season, when it obviously when Bill O'Brien got fired and they know they're going to need a new coach, like I don't think Deshaun Watson just wanted to be like involved at even
He
the
just
bottom,
told
the
his teammates.
basement level.
He
They're like,
literally- he
you-
I mean,
told his teammates
it doesn't
that
make-
he was,
listen,
like,
obviously
considering
we're-
for a trade.
He wasn't
We're
even-
talking about things like all we know is based on the stuff that gets leaked out by like agents and things like
Indeed.
that for like
About-
for the whole
by
point.
Deshaun
Yeah,
Watson
like so like who knows
verbatim.
exactly what they're like going on about. I'm not like
I mean,
I'm not convinced that players really get that much say in the NFL.
I don't think so.
I'm thinking that he's just mad because I mean
Even
his
Aaron
team
Rodgers-
his
Aaron
team is
Rodgers
really
didn't even
bad
get a say
and like
with their
his,
head coach.
yeah, and his team's
I
gonna
watched
be
that
bad
video
for like a
too.
long time.
I watched that video too.
Like I
Review.
to me this is the same kind of stuff. It's like when Jalen Ramsey had his problems, like it wasn't like one thing is the reason why he got traded. Like he just was overall just unhappy, and the things that got leaked were the stuff that he was most recently unhappy about. So like I like the fact that I don't know if Deshaun Watson like wasn't wanting to just be
Jalen
traded in
Ramsey
general,
Jalen
none of
Ramsey
this stuff
got
would have ever
traded.
come out, huh?
Jalen Ramsey got traded.
Yeah, but he got traded to the Rams.
The Rams are a good team.
He wouldn't have gotten traded to like the Bills.
For
Maybe
two
now.
first, Deshaun Watson's gonna get 3 minimum. But yeah, back to the playoff bracket, fellas.
Sounds good.
So the AFC wild card, the second seed Bills versus the 7th seed Colts. He has the Bills winning, and then the Steelers and Browns. He has the Steelers winning, and then Titans Ravens. He has the Ravens winning. So then the divisional round, we go Chiefs Ravens. He's got the Chiefs winning that one. Bills Steelers. He's got the Bills winning that one. So then the Chiefs and Bills are facing up in the AFC Championship game. And he has the Chiefs winning that one to go to the Super Bowl to face his Green Bay Packers, in which the Packers win. So he has the Packers winning the Super Bowl.
It sounded like he just picked all favorites except for I don't know who's going to be the favorite in the Super Bowl.
Seattle.
Steelers or Browns.
Did he pick? Who did he pick? The Steelers or the Browns?
Steelers.
The Steelers are like a 6-point favorite.
Really? Also,
Yeah.
the head coach isn't going to be there.
Dude,
Yep.
their whole offensive coaching staff.
That's what bumped the spread up to 6. It was like 4, and then they
Wow.
lost a bunch of coaches and some players, and they lost Olivier Vernon after.
They lost
the
their
last
2 best
season.
offensive line. I think Jack Conklin, he's first team All Pro, is sick now. Joel Bitonio is sick. It's
Jeez.
real rip over there in
They're
Cleveland.
gonna
man.
get run over.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's unfortunate for their
It's just-
fans.
I think they would have won if they
I
were
don't
do
think
too.
really
so.
healthy.
I think the Steelers were gonna
It's
win.
funny, like just 2 weeks ago, they had no wide receivers because they were all out.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The Browns are not doing well with coach.
It's an outbreak. Listen, the Steelers have played one good half of football since Thanksgiving, and I think the Browns would have won if the COVID thing wasn't a thing.
Sterling's eye roll was so good. And was like, "Steelers have played one half." Eyes up already.
Why?
Because you're only saying that because you're salty the Steelers beat you in the second half of the Colts game.
That's literally the only good half of football they played since
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Have you watched the Steelers game?
I mean, how many people were out against the Browns? because they were
Lost to
resting
the
their starters
Bengals.
because they couldn't move up or down, and then they still only lost by like a couple of points.
They didn't play good football though.
I mean, well, if they scored 30-something points, I don't know if that's bad football. I mean,
They lost, they lost to the Bengals though.
yeah.
And
I mean, they were on a downward like kind of like spiral,
And
and
the
then
football team as well.
the Colts woke them up, and
Indeed.
then they clinched what they needed to clinch, and after that they rested all their starters, like they couldn't make any more progress, and then they still played really close to the Cleveland, who was playing a win in game, which means that it's like
Cleveland had no receivers though.
I mean, but it was still winning in game, and the Steelers didn't play their starters.
That was the week. That was the week before.
That was the week
That was the week
before.
before.
Did they have their receivers back?
They had their
I know
receivers
that.
back.
Yeah,
It was the Jets.
the Jets was when they didn't have it. I didn't know if they didn't have it back or
You're
not.
right.
But like that's
You're
what I'm saying. Like I think the Steelers are fine. Like I don't think that they're not the best team in the AFC, which we saw, but they're not as bad as Hamlin's making them out to be. Like
But
they're.
the Steelers. Oh, go. Keep
I was saying I still think that they're like I don't know, like a 3 to 4 like range of the best in the AFC. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's washed, but like their defense is still good, and Ben Roethlisberger, it's like the Peyton Manning 2015 kind of thing. He still has a lot of like I don't know, high-end mental capability of like understanding defenses and stuff,
Oh,
like
2015.
getting them into the right like sets and stuff. He's just kind of bad sometimes.
I thought you were referencing.
I think what they said is the biggest issue with the Steelers is that they have no run game.
Yeah, I was gonna say they can't run the ball.
Ben Roethlisberger has the ball in his hand too much, and it forces him to try to make more plays than he needs to. Like they're like dead last, right? I don't know if they're like dead last, but like maybe like second to last.
They're up. It's up there.
I mean, like in the playoffs, it's gonna be a struggle depending on what kind of game they get themselves into. I feel like it's like matchup dependent, but
And the Browns are usually a team that is like good against the run, so they're just gonna be. I mean, they lost Vernon and the other guy.
Myles Garrett's a good player, but losing Olivier
yeah,
Vernon
but
hurts.
Baker is also a guy that's prone to just getting like wrecked, kind of. I mean, I don't know, man. It's not like the Steelers Browns is some kind of like insanely like elite team versus a bad team or something. I would say it's two good teams. Like I don't think the Steelers are bad. Like everyone, because there were people saying that the Steelers weren't going to make the playoffs. I remember when they were saying that. Like I don't know. They still won 11 games in a row. Like that was still a thing that happened, and they beat good teams in that process. Like,
did you guys see that? Did you guys see that Chase Claypool catch in the Steelers game versus the Browns? I know they didn't get a lot of. Well, like the game wasn't as close as like the final score. I mean, it was obviously a 2-point game, but like entering the fourth, it was 24-9, and then Chase Claypool had to make that amazing catch. Like it was ridiculous to like get them, within distance to close it.
mm-hmm.
It was like the game was pretty like they had a 15-point lead going into the fourth quarter. It wasn't like super close.
Indeed.
But that would be me like choosing the Browns if they had everybody. I'd be like, oh,
I don't think the Browns couldn't beat the Steelers. I just think I would have still picked the Steelers before. I would have still thought that they were better.
Well,
overall.
That before then, it's way more of an argument. Now it's.
Well, yeah, no, I think they're going to get rolled.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, Lemons is a Packers fan.
Indeed.
and picked all favorites.
So I mean,
right.
low key, he might end up with the best bracket besides the Packers stuff. But
Can I? Is it okay if I go next?
Yeah.
Or somebody else. All right, so I'm gonna start. With
Are you going next because you're gonna go like after each one of us with the different brackets you have?
And Hamlin, can you keep track of how the seating works, or do you know how your seating is gonna work?
I know my seedings.
Oh.
I have it all like played out. But that's the thing, though. It's not like I was saying earlier. It's hard with my bracket because I don't really have.
Then just have Hamlin. Hamlin could just tell you what the matchup will be then. If based on the person you pick.
I know what the matches are going to be.
I don't care about your Doctor Strange 1,000 outcomes. Just give us one.
Relax. Just relax.
Literally.
Let me get to it. So what I was saying is the AFC is like kind of tough for me because like I see like I just think the AFC is like really good this year as opposed to like other years, or at least the playoffs this year are really good. But so I'm gonna start off with the Bills-Colts game. I just think the Bills are gonna roll the Colts. I don't think it's gonna be close. that's the only clear, concise game that I think. After that, well, I didn't know that the Browns lost almost everyone, so I guess the Steelers game is also a roll. But I had the Steelers winning regardless. And then the Titans-Ravens game, this one, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but I have the Ravens winning just because I feel like it's like a revenge game for them.
Indeed.
And Lamar Jackson's been playing pretty well since he came back. So last time I think early in the season they lost because Derrick Henry had like a crazy game. I think the Derrick Henry stuff
They were just
chills out.
Wait, did they play this season?
Yeah, they played this season. I think he won. They won in overtime. He like had like a 90 or 80-yard touchdown run, something crazy. So yeah, this is a big revenge game, and Lamar hasn't won in the playoffs yet. So I think this is how he gets his first one. So then in the next round is the Chiefs, Ravens, and Steelers, Bills, and I think that the Bills will beat the Steelers because they're a 13-win team and they're pretty good. And then the Chiefs, Ravens. So the Chiefs should win this game, but I don't know. I think I'm riding on Lamar Jackson momentum coming into the playoffs. So I think I have the Chiefs losing to the Ravens. And so in the AFC Championship game, it's the Ravens and Bills. And that game can go either way. But I picked the Ravens because I think that, again, I'm just riding Lamar Jackson.
I like it. I like the switch up. I like the switch ups. I like it.
So it's Lamar for me. I feel like he has something to prove, and I feel like his running game ability is. I don't know. I think though in this playoff run, he's gonna have to pass. So like with the passing in these games is gonna make the difference. Like. He's going to be better passing the ball. So Ravens are going to be the Super Bowl in my bracket. And then in the NFC, the Saints Saints are going to beat the Bears.
I already know
unless Nick Foles plays. I'm switching my pick automatically just because. And then the Seahawks, Rams, I picked the Seahawks to win. So it's kind of similar to Lemons because I don't know. I don't trust the Rams as much. They should have had the 5th seed, but they lost to the Jets. Was it?
Yeah.
They lost to the Jets, and I just don't know what's going on with their offense. Like sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's not.
It's Jared Goff and John Wolford. That's what's going on with their offense.
Yeah, but even with Jared Goff,
Jared Goff is bad. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but even with him, they still have good games. Like it's a run game really. And then the Washington Bucks game, it's funny. So out of all the NFC teams, I think that the football team, excuse me, I don't know why.
Are you going to pick the football team? Are you going to pick the football team?
Listen.
No, he's not picking the football team. He just wants us to think.
I'm not.
He's just saying that the football team is the strongest chance.
He wants
so then when he picks the Bucks, like, remember?
No, that's not what I'm doing.
I'm not a Brady homer. I don't like Brady that much.
Listen, I'm a big Brady homer in this playoff bracket.
Washington.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I was just saying that it's funny because out of all the NFC teams that had a chance, the best team out of that ended up winning because the Eagles could have won that game if they didn't bench Jalen Hurts. I think it's funny that happened. They were down 3.
I don't think they would have.
They were down.
I think they would.
Huh? Jalen Hurts was 7 for 20 with a pick.
No, Hamlin. Jalen Hurts was playing at an MVP level. It was criminal that they pulled him. Criminal. Cowards. Cowardly move by the Eagles.
It's a pretty big deal that they pulled him.
He had both rushing touchdowns in the second quarter, right? And then they played him in the third quarter, and he didn't do anything.
Okay, but I still feel
it wasn't. It wasn't criminal. It wasn't tanking. It wasn't criminal. It was just the average kind of thing that happens all the time. The media just blew out they blew it up because that's exactly the kind of thing they were. Exactly. It shouldn't have been on Sunday Night Football because it was a team that had nothing to play for.
Listen, the reason why it's a big deal is
and then Joe Judge
implications of the game.
But the Eagles don't have any responsibility to those implications. They were out of the playoff line. They are playing for what's best for the Eagles. There's no implications.
They went from 9 to 6. That's a massive jump.
Chamba, it's not why would the Eagles care more? Why would the Eagles be we would rather the Redskins or the Washington team make the playoffs versus the Giants? Why do they care? They don't care at all.
They're doing what's best for them.
They're doing what's best for
They get to
themselves.
move up-
Yes,
They
move
they
up
play
in
Jalen
draft
Hurts and they're like,
picks.
okay, we've seen enough of Jalen Hurts. Let's put in the other guy and see what he has.
So my response to that is, I think that the Eagles didn't try to win in that instance.
I don't think
Doing
the
what's
Eagles
best- let me finish.
ever tried to
Doing
win that
what's
game.
best- okay, I think they were trying to win.
They
No,
played Carson Wentz
they
well,
in that game, Week 17, the Eagles going into that game were going in to play for the future. They
The
were not going
chances
in to
of
win that
them-
game.
the
And they
chances
weren't
of
like,
They were
oh
gonna play
man,
Sudfeld
we're
at some
close,
point in that
we're
game.
close to
Chances of them
winning.
winning
This
the
is
game.
bad.
drastically decreased between Jalen Hurts and
I don't think it
whoever-
did.
I don't, whatever his
Nate
backup.
Sudfeld.
Yeah, Sudfeld.
I think it was
Because-
I think it was the same amount of chances, man. Maybe slightly,
I don't think so.
tiny bit.
I think it's a lot bigger than slightly, because
I think they could've-
I remember when the Ravens had Lamar Jackson, he was having the worst half or 3 quarters in a football game.
Lamar Jackson is
and
not.
he,
What does Lamar Jackson
Jalen
have to do with the
Hurts.
Eagles right now?
what I'm saying is that when Lamar Jackson was playing, I think it was his rookie year. He had the worst 3 quarters, and I think it was a playoff game, and people were chanting like a bench him or whatever, and they stuck with him, and they ended up coming
lost,
back,
right?
and they lost
No.
in the end, but he cut it from the
All right, so now
game.
the question I would ask you, Chamba, is they were in a playoff game, so like that's a game that they're supposed to win. That's important. That they're all like
Right,
trying to win.
but-
What were the Eagles in? Were they in a
I'm-
game that they were supposed to win? That they were
They're
trying to win?
playing
That they
the
cared about
game.
winning?
They're playing, but I feel like not trying to win versus trying to win is apparent here. Like
Chamba,
Jalen
they
Hurts
were
wasn't
never
playing
trying.
well.
They were never trying to win, ever.
I
Going
if they
into
weren't
that game,
trying to
they
win at
were.
all, then they never would have started their starters.
They didn't. They
They said
they started Jalen Hurts.
They said they wanted to
Jalen
play
Hurts
Nate
is their
Sudfeld.
starter.
Were gonna
They had
give him
already
snaps
announced
in
that they were going to
game.
do that. Yeah,
You don't put him in the fourth quarter.
that's exactly when you
want-
put him in.
Oh, hold on. Let me ask you. Nate
He's a free
Sudfeld,
agent. They want to see what they have.
They wanted to see.
You already know what he is.
They still wanted to see what Jalen Hurts was too. No, they don't know what he is,
Ah,
Chamba.
Yes, they do. They've seen him play before.
They say we know what Jalen Hurts is then.
There's-
So then we should have put in. They should have
Okay,
signed a practice squad
Jalen
guy
Hurts-
and then put him in.
Jalen
Then
Hurts, if it was someone who had never played before, maybe. But Jalen Hurts is someone
gosh.
that is supposed to be their future.
No, he's
Like,
not.
I guess
He's not.
I would assume that he is. Yeah.
why would you assume that?
They
Carson
drafted
Wentz
him.
is still going.
Carson Wentz has so much money in there. The only way
They
you would
drafted him
assume
second
that.
overall.
Yeah, but they
They
like.
I'm
drafted
assuming
second
they're
round.
moving. I'm assuming they're moving on. Huh?
Yeah, it was in the
Second
second round.
Is different than second overall.
I said second round.
The Colts drafted
No,
Jacob
I meant-
Eason
I meant-
second over
He's-
like in the second round
he's
too.
like-
Or no,
he's a-
what was
he's
it?
a-
The third
he's a
round?
prospect
Fourth
for-
round?
He's
Same
a
thing.
prospect for them.
Yeah.
Right, and he showed promise. I think when the
Yeah, and so they saw what they wanted to see, and they were like, okay, now let's see the next guy.
Yeah, but you're not gonna
Also-
pull him when there's.
That's
a-
exactly what you do.
Bad game. He was having a
Yes, they were
bad
down
game.
Listen, but
All right,
Joel,
whatever.
I don't
Let's
think they
review
would have
this.
cared. I think he could have thrown 4 touchdowns in that game, and they would have just been like, "Oh, it's fourth quarter. Let's give Sudfeld some snaps."
You
They
don't
would have
pull
won.
him in the fourth
It's an
quarter.
exhibition game, Chamba. I know that you're a Patriots fan, and
I
you
don't think
have
you
been
got pulled
part
in
of
the
just
fourth
the
quarter.
most winning in any sports franchise of all time. And you don't know
You're
what
not pulling
you don't know what an
something.
exhibition game is. You don't know what like a team that's like trying to do what's better for themselves.
Just
An
think
exhibition game
of
is a preseason game.
yeah.
That's
It was an
exactly
exhibition
what it
game for
is.
them.
But-
I've seen the Eagles. I remember a couple years ago the Eagles did the same thing.
When?
I don't know. It was like what was it 3 years ago? It was before they. It was when they didn't need to win every game to make the playoffs. The last couple of years that they've had it, like the one year before that, I feel like they rested their starters week 17. I think it was. Didn't they rest their starters the year that Carson Wentz got hurt? Like the starters at that point was Nick Foles. Didn't Sudfeld play in that game too?
I don't remember.
No idea.
I just think saying that you want to see what you have in Sudfeld is BS because you're not.
I mean, they're different. Listen,
You're
the
not
Free
Chamba,
agent, dude.
it's not
It
BS.
doesn't
Oh, wait,
matter.
so
It's not, like,
let me
It's
explain.
not
Let me
at all.
explain. Chamba,
It
there's
does.
the way it is there's not
Why?
there's multiple ways that like different philosophies. I don't. It's not like I think Judge is lying. I think in his scenario, he's one of those old school type coaches. He would play to win every game. I get that people that do that, but a modern philosophy is you rest your starters. It's like the difference between people that play their starters in week 17 when they have nothing to gain in the playoffs versus teams that don't. And there's different kinds of what's the word for that? Like evidence that you play worse or better. Like there's conflicting evidence, but guess what? Teams still do it. The Steelers still rested their starters because for their philosophy they decided that they want to rest their starters. Like that's just
Well, they don't
That's
have
the
a
same
first-round
thing.
bye, though. The Chiefs, on the other hand, is what you're thinking of because
Well-
they're going to get 2 weeks off of football.
I mean, not even just that. Like it's been a thing before. The what was it? The Ravens last year rested the starters, and people. It's the thing when you rest your starters and you lose, they all like, oh, see, it's because of that. But like if you did it the other way, they would just be like, oh, you didn't give your people a break. You didn't give yourself time to prepare.
The Steelers this year, they rested Ben Roethlisberger because they wanted.
They rested more than Ben
to recover.
He's
Roethlisberger.
hurt.
I
He's
understand.
hurt.
But
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I understand it's more than just.
But
that,
like, there's different philosophies. The thing
I-
that
I
I'm telling you,
understand.
Chamba, is that the QB, the head coach, did not look at the scoreboard and say, "I want to lose this game now. I'm going to take out Jalen Hurts." I promise you, that's not what happened.
He went into the game
Not wanting to win. I mean, I don't. It's not like he didn't want to win. I think he did not care. We'll get to you, Joel. I think that he went into the game like, yeah, this is an exhibition game. We're going to evaluate people for next year. Jalen Hurts got 3 quarters. He's like, oh, yeah, we've evaluated it. Let's put in Nate Sudfeld. Joel from the back room.
It also might not have even been Doug Peterson's choice. I think there's people saying that it came from the owner, and the owner obviously wants.
If that
to do
happens,
what's best long term,
then that is like to me that's different than like you're playing to see what you have in like different people. Like that's openly tanking. That, if the owner is getting like that's what I'm saying. Like I mean like that's different to me. That would make it seem like Joe Judge would have some kind of like thing to call them cowardly and stuff like that.
That doesn't speak at all to the team, right? They have to listen to their owner.
No, they don't. There are head coaches. There are head coaches.
To keep his job, he has to.
Yeah,
he has to
but
listen to his
like
owner.
I promise you, if Doug Peterson cared about that kind of thing, then he wouldn't want to keep his job anymore. Like that would be like it's one of those kind of like
that he was doing everything.
like it's like based on what happened with Joe Judge. Based on what happened with Joe Judge, right? What if the owner had said like let's say the same situation comes up. Do you think the owner would say that to Joe Judge? Like let's say he says it. Do you think Joe Judge would do it? Like we just go back on all the stuff he just said.
Yeah.
See, I don't. I think that Joe Judge is one of those kind of people. He's like the old school. Because Joe Judge, he's like from like the Tom Coughlin like tree. They call him Tom Coughlin light. I think that he would 100% be like no, and he would just be like, I'm gonna like you have to fire me before the game because I'm gonna play all my starters and I'm gonna try to win the game. I promise you that's what I believe about Joe Judge, not about every coach. I mean, obviously there are head coaches that feel differently. They care more about like they're like having their job, but so, like coaches are all weird like that. They all like. I don't know, like
they all have their own philosophies and they want to live and die by their philosophies.
Indeed, exactly. Like they're like the way Joe Judge sees it is like he wouldn't compromise himself to be a head coach. Like he would always be true. He was making his staff run laps, Joel. Joe Judge would never. He would never take. He would never do that.
I ain't running laps for a coach.
Hamlin from the dark room.
So, final remarks on this: Joe Judge. Win more than 6 games, then you can complain.
Indeed.
There we go.
Facts.
That is true.
Also, NFL.
Final remarks.
NFL, stop putting AFC West opponents in Sunday Night Football with just one playoff implication.
You mean NFC East?
Yeah, NFC East.
They weren't even supposed to.
He said up
It was the complete opposite.
Everyone knew what I was talking about.
Only because you completely butchered it. But anyway, so advancing to the next round, Saints, Bucks, and Packers, Seahawks. So I have.
So you have the Bucks beating the
Yeah,
Washington football team.
You didn't actually say that, but
You didn't say it.
You never got to that point.
You immediately went
Don't
to
worry,
the.
it's perfect. We have this recorded.
Indeed. You're gonna see that you didn't say it.
So now you guys are gonna realize I have a steel trap. He started saying the stuff, and then he started going off on a spiel, and then either I or Joel or something was like, "So you don't have the Washington winning?"
I said,
like,
no,
and
I
then
have
yeah,
the Washington
no, it's saying so you don't have the Washington winning.
Did he say it outright?
No, I
Yeah,
said-
after
Yes,
we
I
after
said
we
no.
You didn't say that.
after
I don't remember
no
him
after
saying
we
it outright.
Let me
listen
talk.
after
never
we
made a pick.
after we grilled him.
This is what.
Like,
listen.
hold on,
Before-
hold on. I want to prove my steel trap to you guys. I'm like, we got
Doesn't
this.
matter. You don't have to.
It does.
prove
I mean, it
anything.
does
I just
to me.
wanna- I just want to get.
I'm Chamba. I'm gonna get you. Listen, trust me, I got you. So
Go ahead.
he was going on his thing, and he started to go on just a rundown of the Washington football team because he wanted us to realize that it was going to be close.
I didn't.
But
I remember.
I did.
whoa,
You guys
Chamba, you cutting me off.
cut
Let
me off.
me finish what I was saying.
Like a red herring or something.
Yeah, but we call him out on it immediately, and he did say, I have the Bucks winning.
I did. I didn't hear him say he had the Bucks.
But only
winning.
after we called him out on the other thing.
Wait for it. Wait, he keeps saying no. Wait, no.
It's because he wanted to get his. He wanted to get his.
I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Can I talk now? I only want to say one thing, which was out of all the NFC East teams, they ended up playing the best team out of it, and then out of that conversation, we went into the whole Eagles game.
Indeed.
I wasn't trying to anoint the Redskins as being this almighty team that the Bucks are going to play. I was just saying that it was. I found it funny that out of all the teams that they're going to play, it ended up being the football team. Anyway, so between the Saints and Bucks, I feel like it's really hard for the Bucks to beat this team, judging by the first two games that they played.
Very hard.
They played better the second time, or I think they played better the second time. But I think it was more of like when the defense was in a slump. But I have the Bucks still winning that game because this is home for Brady.
It was better.
You're the Bucks winning.
The second time was 38-3.
Oh, but I think there was a lot of they didn't have AB the first time, and I think they were saying that like they started playing better with AB around that time.
See, I thought we were doing like NFL analysis here. I didn't know we were like we were just picking our favorite teams, you know.
Indeed.
Anyway.
Did you pick the Bucks?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I just made that face.
He's a home.
Well, that's why I said that I can't see them beating the Saints, but I'm gonna pick the
In
Bucks
your heart, you know.
Okay.
What do you mean? So like
Right,
my logic pick is they're gonna lose to the Saints. That's what logic says.
Oh,
So
right.
I'm just picking the Bucks because I want Brady to go to the Super Bowl again.
Okay.
But we know that you want we know you want Brady to win the Super Bowl. That's your ideal scenario. So you should just make your bracket based on your logic. Like you should logic your way.
But that's why I said I can't. Okay, so logic.
I mean, he can make the bracket on what he
Saints are gonna
wants.
win that game.
Like,
Indeed, I mean, you could just say do whatever you want.
just keep the bracket the way you want it.
Anyways, continuing. So the Packers versus Seahawks. I don't really have much faith in the Seahawks, just because I hate almost everyone on the team except for
Tyler Lockett.
DK Metcalf. I hate Tyler Lockett so much, so much.
You hate Russell Wilson?
No, I said except Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf. So I have the Packers winning that game because I also another thing too is that it's going to be snowing a lot up there in Green Bay, and
Do we know that?
The other day.
Global warming.
I think it was snowing there.
It's 2 weeks from now, right?
They're still, yeah, but it hasn't been all sunshines and it's like
Yeah, but it has to snow right before, otherwise
It's going to be cold. We know
yeah.
that, but is there going to be snow on the ground?
like
There was snow on the ground in the
remember,
Titans game, and the Packers ripped them.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I remember seeing that they were talking about how like Aaron Rodgers this is like the beach for him or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently he likes.
It's like a extra coat of like.
I mean, he plays really well in the snow.
Yeah, so I have the Packers winning that game, and then Packers Saints. Packers. I don't think that the Saints are going to play well in Green Bay. If it was the other way around, then I'd probably pick. It'd be a little bit different, but I think I'd still pick the Packers.
Maybe
So
the Saints with fans.
Wait, but wasn't your other bracket the Bucks?
Yeah.
No.
What?
We voted on
I thought
it.
you said that you had the Bucks winning.
No, I said with my logic.
Yes, but then we were saying like just pick the bracket you wanted.
Well,
The bracket that you made.
Either
Well,
way,
the
he has
bracket
Packers advancing to
No.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, did you have the Packers? Oh, because I
No,
could have
so
sworn a
this
second
is-
ago you said that you had the Bucks going
No.
to the
Wait for a
Super
second.
Bowl.
Wait.
Listen. Let me clarify for you. So when I was talking about the Bucks versus the Saints, I said I can't see them beating the Saints.
Yes,
So, like. The
but
Saints are gonna
then
advance.
you did pick the
But-
Bucks though. That's why we made that face and we went on a
Yes,
whole spiel.
because immediately I said I'm a homer for Brady.
Oh, wait.
So I want to see him in the
So
Super Bowl.
based on that bracket,
So
You're taking Bucks to the
yes,
Super Bowl.
in one bracket I have Bucks in the Super Bowl, but my logic bracket is Packers.
listen.
Not to confuse you, but
So if you have to pick a bracket between those two, what bracket are you putting
My
forward
logic
for this
bracket.
podcast?
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with my logic.
So
bracket.
then the Bucks thing was useless.
Indeed.
No, I said as a joke because you were talking
A
about
joke.
how Lemons is a homer for the Packers, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm homer for because Joel's gonna be a
But-
homer for Mahomes.
but I mean, Lemons. He put
You
his,
don't know
he put
that.
the
I do.
bracket that he
You
thinks
don't-
/ wants to happen.
Be wrong.
Oh,
What did you say?
I just said, but Lemons put the bracket that he thinks / wants to happen. Like he went through with it.
Right.
So like your other homer bracket doesn't matter, like because you said that the other bracket's the bracket you stand by, not.
So that's what I think is gonna
So that means
happen.
if Bucks win the Super Bowl, you don't get any credit.
That's fine.
You're a loser, and you didn't
I'm
stand
not
by
a
your
loser.
team, and Brady is disappointed in you.
Well, my team is sitting down and watching the Super Bowl with me.
Yeah.
I'm just like rooting for Brady because I know it's gonna piss off Hamlin and probably Joel as well because he's not a big Brady fan. No, you're not. I know
Joel's
inside,
dying
probably
inside.
I know Hamlin eats at him every single time.
It doesn't.
So that's what I like. If you didn't hate Brady as much, I probably wouldn't care as much. But like,
So
You're so
Hamlin has
negative.
created
Hamlin has
stronger
been
emotional
reborn with
attachments
his-
for Brady.
Hamlin has been reborn with his Brady takes as of late. I've heard him.
He has?
Like I think I've heard him 3 times in the last 2
he's
weeks.
threatened a little bit.
Reborn.
You are.
Well,
You know.
I mean, it's because 2 seconds ago he said I was a casual because I thought Brady was playing pretty good, and then I realized no, I'm wrong. Brady's playing amazing. He has 40 touchdowns. He's amazing this year.
He has
1 in 5 against playoff teams.
Yeah, they said that he's 1 in 5, but I mean, he still won 11 games, so you have
He
to
did?
you have
He did
to
win
play who's in
11
front.
games.
So he definitely exceeded expectations. So I
Philip
didn't think
Rivers
he
won
was
11
40.
I mean, 40 touchdowns is still 40 touchdowns.
Did he throw 40 touchdowns?
No.
We run the ball way better than
Okay, but he didn't throw 40 touchdowns.
Then what? Leonard
And
Fournette?
he's not better.
Yes.
Oh man, you run the ball better than Leonard Fournette, who's a healthy
I'm
scratch
saying
half the
Brady's gonna have
time.
more passing touchdowns than Philip Rivers because we run more touchdowns in.
So you think
Listen,
that
that
if
was
you
my
guys
point.
didn't run the
If
ball as well,
Brady was
that
in the
Philip Rivers would have
Colts,
thrown 40
dude.
touchdowns, Hamlin?
What?
Do you think Philip Rivers would have thrown 40 touchdowns if you guys didn't run the ball as much? Because I could have sworn you said that he
No.
was
No, I'm-
league average. League average
think-
quarterbacks don't throw 40 touchdowns.
I think the quarterback of the Bucks is throwing 30-plus touchdowns no matter what, just based on how stacked that offense is. And I think that offense is obviously better than our offense.
See, I think you're
obviously, if you put
underrating.
Brady on the Colts, he's going to throw less than 40. And put Philip Rivers on the Bucks, I don't think he's going to throw.
I mean,
he'll
yeah,
probably throw
I think
30+.
Brady would have thrown less. I think Brady
would
would have thrown less than 40 on the Colts too. But I think he would have thrown more than Philip Rivers.
Yeah, Rivers threw 24 touchdowns. Brady threw
Probably.
24
I think
touchdowns
Brady
last year
is
on the
playing
Patriots.
better than Philip Rivers
Brady
right now.
would throw maybe 3 to 5 more than Philip Rivers, maybe. Like we
Is your
run the
offense
ball a
that
lot.
bad?
Our
How many did
offense
Philip
isn't,
Rivers
like,
throw?
bad, but-
How many did Philip
He
Rivers
threw
throw?
24. He threw 24 touchdowns.
Brady threw what? 27 last year?
He did 24. 26, 24. I think he did 24 on the Patriots, and they had virtually nobody.
Listen, Brady is better than Philip Rivers right now.
And
But
your
it's
offense,
not-
your offense is
they're-
better than the Patriots last year too. I don't know
they're
what
in the
what
same
your point you're trying to make
They're in the
is.
same tier. Brady and
No, they're not.
They're in the same lane.
There's no
Just,
way you can say Brady's playing league average right now. There's no way you can say that.
I'm saying,
Or you said that
saying
about
he's
Rivers.
league average quarterback.
I mean, you
in
can
the
physically
offense.
say it, but it's not. It'll make you sound like a hater.
Okay.
You really think Brady
Well, I
is
mean, he
playing
is a
league
hater.
average right now?
I'm not saying he's playing. I'm saying he's a league average quarterback right now in an amazing offense. That's
What
literally
is
the
what
perfect
is
situation.
what does league average then even mean? It means a person that in the right offense could
Even
throw 40
Jimmy
touchdowns. It could
Garoppolo
lead the league in
talent.
touchdowns. He could almost have led the league in touchdowns with that kind of stat line. Did Jimmy Garoppolo throw 40 touchdowns last year?
Jameis Winston threw 30-plus touchdowns while throwing 30 interceptions.
Yeah,
in
but
the
that wasn't
offense.
40 touchdowns.
Yeah, and if he threw 10 less picks, then he would have more opportunities. I'm saying, like, Brady's not.
So if he
obviously
wasn't
30
Jameis Winston, he would be better. Really. Jameis Winston has always been like a high-end
missing the
passer at
point.
times. Like
You're missing the
Jameis,
point.
like bringing up Jameis Winston isn't actually. Like, Jameis Winston has been a high-end passer. He's been
I'm
like
saying if you cut down on turnovers, you're gonna have more opportunities to score touchdowns, and that's exactly what happened with Brady because that offense is so ridiculous.
Or because
That's all I'm
Brady isn't as bad as Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Or 'cause
understand.
Brady's better than
that's
Jameis
what I'm saying.
Winston.
Jameis Winston's bad.
So why
I'm
are
just
you
saying-
faulting? You're like.
and
taking
also
away from
Jameis
Brady
Winston's
because he doesn't turn the ball
Jameis
over.
Winston's a strange case too, Hamlin,
No.
because Jameis Winston can play good. He just also throws a lot of picks.
Yes, he's very inconsistent. Yes.
He's the only quarterback like that. Other quarterbacks that are
I'm saying,
bad don't have that same kind of upside that he does. Like
I
Jameis
think
Winston's
if you
upside
put
is probably better than Philip
Jimmy
Rivers'
Garoppolo
too.
on the freaking Bucks, he's gonna throw.
But
30
why didn't Jimmy
touchdowns.
Garoppolo throw 40
I
on the 49ers? They have a high-end offense.
What?
What happened to Joel?
Where'd Joel go? Can we
Oh,
just
here, give me a
move
second.
on?
Huh?
What happened?
I have no idea.
Well,
Also, let me just point out as well that when Brady moved to the Bucks, you spent a lot of time pointing out that all the people that were going to the Bucks were washed. The only people that were there already the only people that were there already was Mike Evans and Godwin. So, and also Brady was washed as well. So aside from that, according to you, his offense isn't that stacked because everyone is just washed.
Amazing. Chris Godwin's amazing. Their offensive line, they drafted Tristan Wirfs, who's literally an All-Pro.
And the offensive line is yeah.
But Brady's not washed. I mean, you were wrong. Brady's not washed this year.
I think
there's no way you can.
A
washed quarterback can't.
Are going to be good.
Is the whole point of washed is supposed to be they're not playing good anymore.
Then Philip Rivers.
If you can throw 40 touchdowns in an offense that is built well, then you're not washed. That just means you're a good quarterback still. It's Blake Bortles wouldn't throw 40 touchdowns on the Bucks right now. He wouldn't. I said Blake Bortles wouldn't throw 40 touchdowns.
Blake Bortles was never good.
This is my point. So Brady's not bad. Bad quarterbacks are the ones that aren't going to take advantage of the good offense. A good quarterback can take advantage of their good offense.
Well, listen. Bortles might throw 40 on the Bucks straight up. He's throwing close to that on the Jaguars.
Oh my gosh.
He has.
But they were all garbage time. That's the difference. Brady's haven't all been garbage time.
What record is
5-11. 5-11.
Indeed.
All garbage time.
30-something touchdowns.
Garbage
time.
time.
They would win as many games with Bortles.
No, he wouldn't throw 40. He wouldn't be able to throw 40 because he'd be throwing the picks too many times. Just the same reason that happened with the other thing.
Jameis threw 30 and still threw 30. Bortles could do it, dude. I'm telling you.
33.
Okay, he only did it on a worse offense. So why?
He did it on a worse offense with a green light to just play how he wanted to, and being down 20-0 constantly. So you don't remember when they used to bring up the articles how Blake Bortles was the Tom Brady of garbage time, which is funny that they used Tom Brady, but he was insane at garbage time stats. There were so many times he could get the ball down the field in 3 throws, instant touchdown. Allen Hurns, always Allen Hurns.
And you don't think Brady's feasting on the poor at all with his 1-5 record against playoff
playing
teams?
against bad teams but winning is different than throwing garbage time touchdowns against all teams.
I'm just saying,
I'm not saying Brady is better than Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying Brady's just better than Russell Wilson now. But I'm saying Brady's been elite this year, and he's not washed. We were clearly wrong.
He has not been elite this year.
We can agree to disagree, but I think we should get on to the next person.
You want to go, Joel, or me?
Wait. What was the end of Chamba's bracket?
Ravens and
Packers.
And
who do you have winning?
Oh, the Ravens.
I can go. If you want me? No, you got it, sir. You got it.
Well, I don't have a bracket. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep track. Just give me the matchups. I'll go one by one.
All right. So,
AFC or NFC?
We'll do AFC.
Yeah, you want to start with NFC?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, AFC.
Saints, Bears.
No, he said AFC.
Oh, AFC. My bad. Bills, Colts.
I think that it's one of those games where it's everyone has the Bills just to the absolute max, and I get the feeling in those kind of games that the Colts win because it makes me mad. But I'm still gonna pick the Bills because yeah. But I think it's gonna be a close game.
Steelers, Browns.
Steelers. They're gonna roll. I mean, we all talked about it already. I think the game would have been close before, but I still think the Steelers would have won even with the full strength. But it's one of those situations where the Browns hadn't been in the playoffs for a long time, so I think they could have won. But it's too much to overcome with all of the crazy stuff going on.
And then this next game, this is the real wild card for me for the AFC wild card. I think this one could go either way, but I want to see what you say. Titans, Ravens.
So the Titans beat the Ravens last year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Derrick Henry's playing
and this year, and
Derrick Henry's playing insane. I get pushback all the time for this. Derrick Henry right now is playing the best football of any running back in the history of the NFL. The last 2 years, it's literally unheard of.
It's a win in time.
It's the only thing that's happened. But that Titans defense is really, really bad.
Really bad.
Next level bad. So the Ravens, I think, are going to blow them out. I don't think it's going to be close.
Really?
Well, yeah.
It's the Titans offense.
It won't matter because the Titans offense, they're gonna try. No,
Titans offense is really good.
the whole point of their Titans offense is that they want to run it with Derrick Henry. I mean, they have AJ Brown and like really good offensive talent, obviously around it, and Ryan Tannehill is like solid, but I don't think it's not it's not their offense is designed to still run through Derrick Henry. That's what they want to do. They don't want to be in the other kind of game. I think that if they got into
the ball, you can keep the other team's offense off the field.
But listen, my point is like let's say they run the ball right, they get like it'd have to be like they have to run the ball and score a touchdown on every drive. Is how I'm thinking it, because I think the Ravens are going to score on like extra drives. I think they're going to somehow score more drives than they even have, because I think
the Ravens ran for 400 yards.
I'm thinking it's going to be a score of like
rushing yards.
If the Titans get into like a shootout, let's say the Titans get to like a shootout with like AJ Brown and Ryan Tannehill, it's still going to be 28-56 or something like that. Like it's going to be it's going to be in like listen, the Ravens are going to like they're going to not roll necessarily, but they're going to score too many points. Way too many points.
Beat them already.
It's hard to beat a team twice, man.
Listen, I said that earlier.
The Titans hit the Ravens. In my eyes, the Ravens they've also hit a certain stride right now. They're like you're facing the Ravens at their best right now. This is the best they've been since like last year.
They're peaking.
Exactly. They're peaking like right now.
That's why I'm concerned though about like the Titans.
See, I don't think the Ravens are going to Super Bowl like you do, but I think that they're going to roll the Titans.
All right. So next round, divisional, KC, Baltimore.
So we'll go straight into that. Chiefs, probably.
Okay.
That's the one that they're prepared for. I mean, I think the Chiefs have been playing bad. They haven't put a full stack together ever. But
I think they play to their competition a little bit.
I mean, exactly. And I think like I don't know. I think that until I see Lamar Jackson beat the Chiefs, I'm gonna keep taking the Chiefs.
Game plan Andy Reid though. Andy Reid off a bye.
Exactly. I think the Chiefs are gonna win that game.
All right. So Buffalo, Pittsburgh.
Buffalo. Josh Allen, MVP candidate, kind of under the radar. It's Josh Allen's coming out party this playoffs, in my eyes.
All right. So
listen, man, he went from a 55. He went from a 55 completion rating. Like, thought it couldn't be done.
70.
Indeed, that's insane.
You've been historically down on Josh Allen.
And now he's completely proven me wrong to the point where I'm like,
he proved everyone wrong.
He's amazing.
Up on Josh Allen.
Brian Daboll, baby.
I think you were down on Josh Allen earlier this year when he was having his bad.
Well, I said I want to see it against more than the AFC East opponents.
Mm-hmm. Well, who has he been having these good games against?
Early in the season, it was the Jets and the Bills, or it is the Bills, Jets and the trucking Dolphins. And I wasn't sure that the Dolphins. Remember, people didn't think the Dolphins were good yet.
Steelers. So they beat the Chargers, Niners, Steelers, Broncos, Patriots, Dolphins.
I mean, he just had a really good game against the Dolphins last week, didn't he?
He did.
They got blown out by the Titans when they played.
I mean, that's like it's one of those things. Any given Sunday, things can happen. But I'm taking the Bills. I think they might blow them out.
That Titans were like cheating and stuff.
Remember, isn't this the game that we didn't get to see for a while? When did they actually play it?
It was like a Tuesday game or something weird like that.
Did the Steelers win?
Oh wait, what are you talking about?
The Bills Steelers.
What are you talking about? Bills beat them.
That was a regular game. The Bills won.
Oh.
All right, so KC, Buffalo.
I'm picking Buffalo. Josh Allen coming out party. I think the Chiefs are so loaded. And before, like early in the season, it was one of those things where it's like the COVID season. So it's kind of like, I think the teams with the stronger players are just going to win. Like, and I think that's the Chiefs kind of were just like relying on that. But I think people have kind of gotten into a groove. We've hit a certain level where the competition has gotten better. And I think the Chiefs are going to lose. It's also hard to win back-to-back Super Bowls. If the Chiefs win this game, I think they'll win the Super Bowl, though. But I think they're going to lose.
All right, so NFC. Saints, Bears.
Are you writing all this down so we can keep track of who's right? This kind of thing?
It's on the podcast.
We'll have to go back and look.
I have none lemons. I haven't written anything else. Okay, so Saints, Bears.
Saints. Bears aren't good.
Okay.
They got to make the playoffs. They're going to be happy. They helped the Jaguars get Trevor Lawrence. Thanks for that. The Bears.
Seahawks, Rams.
Oh. See, no one's giving the Rams a chance. And, I mean...
Pick the Rams for what it's worth.
Chris Sims? Yeah. Like, I feel like the Rams could win this game. And, like, I don't know, something about the Seahawks. Like, they're not peaking at the right time. They peaked way too early. They've kind of just been like chilling the last few weeks. I know they've had good games and sprinkled in there. Obviously, the Seahawks definitely have the capability of easily winning this game, but the Rams, like, they have really good preparation. Like, I could see them winning it. I'll pick the Rams. I'll pick the Rams. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So the football team and the Bucks.
I think this is a bad matchup for Brady. I also think
Pass
7
rush.
and 9 teams. Yeah, I think 7 and 9 teams usually get a win. I mean, it is Brady.
They're 2-0. They're 2-0.
Indeed.
In wild card weekend.
I think Brady has a lot to prove right now against certain types of haters, but I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where if they just had if it was a regular, like, bad team making the playoffs, like if it was like a 9-7 or 8-8 team, then I would say the Washington. But they have like 6 wins, right? Or are they 7?
7 and 9.
It's gonna be Alex Smith. It's just that defense, man.
It's going to be Alex Smith mixed with Taylor Heineke because Alex Smith is not fully healthy. They're going to switch him out.
You have to go for the Bucks. It's one of those things where, like, you get 2 sack forced fumbles or something, and then the Washington just wins. But, like, you can't rely on that. That's not. I can't, like, make that as a prediction.
Right.
So I'll go with the Bucks.
Okay. So then, the Rams versus the Packers.
It was all fun and games. The Rams had their fun. I think the Packers will win. Packers, they don't usually lose these. I mean, every year people pick the Packers to win the Super Bowl every time, but they never do it. But they usually do win in the playoffs. They're not like the Saints, where they just have heartbreaking losses every year. But I mean, I guess they technically do have a heartbreaking loss at some point every year. But I feel like they do have more success.
Not the same fact.
So yeah, I'll take the Packers.
Okay. So Bucks, Saints.
Saints, easy.
Okay.
Saints are just the better team overall.
I mean, Saints, Packers now in the NFC Championship.
See, and this one would be crazy because it's the team of 2 heartbreaking. That they both have heartbreaking, like, seasons every year in the playoffs. I'm taking the Packers. Drew Brees is not playing that well. Aaron Rodgers is still playing really well, MVP level. Like, apparently his what do they call it? His help on his team is the best in the league, better than the Chiefs. So.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious how I never said that once. Hilarious.
But yeah, I'll take the Packers in this game. Probably a close one. Probably get some Aaron Rodgers heroics. Should be a good game.
Super Bowl, Bills, Packers.
Remember how I said it was Josh Allen's coming out party? Well, it's over. It's done. The party's done. Josh Allen already came out. He's in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers gets his second Super Bowl. Typical. It's a typical prediction. People pick the Packers every time, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. It could happen.
All right.
I feel it.
I like it. All right, Jolie.
All right, I'll start with the NFC. So New Orleans, Chicago, the Saints. Like, I feel like, yeah, I just don't believe in Chicago's offense enough. And the Saints are getting Mike Thomas back, Mr. Slant Boy. They're gonna have their full offensive arsenal to complement the aging Drew Brees back. So, I think they pull off a. No, it's not even gonna be close. They're gonna blow Chicago out. So Seattle Rams. Sterling stole my first ring, my off the wall pick. No, I just think the Rams match up really well against Seattle. Russell Wilson doesn't play well against the Rams. They have Jalen Ramsey for DK Metcalf, and then that just leaves the rest, like the Lockets of the world. And
DK Metcalf doesn't move around either. He just stays on one side.
Aaron Donald is a great player. And the Rams are better anyway when they play through their running backs, and I think they're gonna get Cam Akers back, so they have their full stable again. I just don't like Sterling said. Seattle's not peaking at the right time. They're playing really bad as of late, and they already play the Rams bad, like, normally. So I just think this is a bad matchup for Seattle. I would have picked them against some of these other teams, but I do think the Rams are going to win. Washington, Tampa Bay, a low-key same thing. Bad matchup. Tom Brady lost against the Bears because of their, like, defensive line. And it's a night game. Tom Brady doesn't play well in primetime games this year.
If it was the Bears, I would have picked them.
I would have been so much more confident of this pick if Alex Smith was just healthy. If it was just Alex Smith healthy, I would have picked
Yeah.
Washington. Because I feel like they have enough. I feel like they have enough weapons if Alex Smith is healthy to
I think they should
put
just
up enough points.
roll with Alex Smith the whole time or Taylor Heineke the whole time. Don't try to mix him like that's
I'm not
ridiculous.
liking this mixed match, but everybody else has picked Tampa Bay, so I gotta flip it up a little bit. I'm gonna go
you're
Washington.
picking?
I think it'll be a super close. I think it's gonna be a super close game, but I'm gonna go the football team. So who's next? Tam, I don't have my seeding doesn't update automatically. So it's Green Bay against who's the lowest team? The Rams. It's Green Bay.
Oh yeah, the Rams.
Right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's the Rams.
Yeah.
Green Bay 100%. Green Bay doesn't have any of the problems that Seattle has, and if Jalen Ramsey covers Devontae Adams, I don't think that
You can't.
I don't think
It won't
that's
matter.
like
Jalen Ramsey can't
I don't
cover
think that's
him
the
well
I
enough.
don't think that's the kind of the kind of wide receiver Jalen Ramsey's the best against, like DK Metcalf.
Just Hopkins
seen-
type, and
I've
Jalen
seen
Ramsey
it.
does well against Hopkins.
But hold on, I've seen it firsthand. He's covering him, but Rodgers can still fit it in there.
Indeed, and Devontae Adams is a great runner too. I think the Packers have too much firepower for the Rams defense, and then the Rams offense is hilarious. Indeed, too much Aaron Rodgers for the Rams offense, and then the Rams defense for the Rams defense, and the Rams offense is a joke. And then what? Washington, New Orleans. It's pretty much New Orleans, Chicago Part 2, except a little bit easier on New Orleans. So I think New Orleans takes it. So that leaves Saints, Green Bay. I'm gonna they played earlier, and it really wasn't that close. Was it that close? I don't remember it being that close. I thought the Packers won comfortably. Let me see. Packers. It was a touchdown. Oh no, it was pretty close. They were tied going into the fourth quarter. So hilarious. But I'm gonna take the Saints. I'm gonna take the Packers. Sorry, not the Saints. I'm gonna take the Packers. Ride the hot hand, the MVP, Aaron Rodgers, into the Super Bowl, just like everybody else here. Yes, just like everybody else here.
Wait, everyone picked the Packers one Super Bowl? It's funny.
I think so. I think that the Saints. I think the game's going to be close. But I don't think Drew Brees is
good,
dynamic enough at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I think he has a hard time against like high-powered offenses that their defense can't stop, which would be the Packers.
Well, Hamlin
all right.
Hamlin hasn't gone yet.
Indeed. So far, everybody's picked the Packers so far. So the AFC, starting with Buffalo.
Wait, so I had the Packers winning the Super Bowl. I'm a Lemons homer. That means that I'm wrong because Lemons picked it.
Wait, Tom, did you have? No, you had Tom had the Ravens picking
the Ravens winning.
So the AFC, Buffalo, Indianapolis. I really wanted to.
Should have just gone Buffalo.
Really, really badly, but with Diggs playing, I don't think the Colts have enough horses to keep up with.
Cringe.
The Bills. It wasn't a pun. It was just a saying, but it works. It works to me. That's
after we know what you're doing.
No, indeed, it's because I realized what I was saying. I was like, this is kind of cringy. So Buffalo, and then Pittsburgh, Cleveland. We talked about it. I'm also picking Pittsburgh. I would have picked Cleveland if this nonsense didn't happen with them this past week, but it did. So I'm picking Pittsburgh. Tennessee, Baltimore. I'm gonna pick the Titans. I haven't seen Baltimore's been playing really good against some not so great teams as of late. Game? I mean, and it has gotten them on a roll. But
what about the Cleveland game?
Cleveland can't win a game in their division.
I mean, they still scored 40 points.
They can barely beat the Steelers either. But and I think Tennessee's offense is much more dynamic than Cleveland's offense is. I just believe.
Do you know how bad the Tennessee defense is, Joel? The defense is bad.
Indeed, it's terrible. But I think that
Gardner Minshew looked amazing against them.
I think the Titans can win an offensive display of
Can they score
Five
56
more,
points?
The Ravens. Yes.
No.
They can score 56 points.
Have
I think they have scored 50
When?
points this week.
When?
Was it 40?
Yeah, I think they have
40.
also.
Might have been 40.
When? What week?
I can check.
Listen, man, I
Ryan
don't want
Tannehill
this
had 5
fake
touchdowns.
nonsense on here. You're just like, oh yeah, I think they have scored 56 points. I want proof. I want the
Not
receipts.
56. So they
56?
scored
They're
42,
saying that they scored
42,
50.
They scored 46.
45, 46.
Oh, so 46 is not 50.
They've scored over 40 points 4 times.
A 50 burger. Yeah. So so then you think that they're gonna lose 46 to 56? We got it.
No, I don't think the Ravens are going to score 56 points. And it's also a thing of like, Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Can he get the thing off his back
Against that
by
team.
winning his first playoff game?
Against that defense, you can, I should say.
Also, the Titans have won the last 2 matchups against Baltimore. One in the playoffs, one in the regular season. So I'm going to take the Titans. And that'll be what? Yeah, that's my upset of the weekend.
Is that an upset?
Do they?
No, they're the higher seed. But I don't know what the favorites are.
No, I think the spread is on Baltimore's favor, but I don't know for sure. I mean, actually, I have it here. I can just look. It is. Oh no, it doesn't say. I lied. I don't have it here. All right. So who I have now? I have the lowest seed was Tennessee. Yeah, I have Tennessee playing the Chiefs, picking the Chiefs. Buffalo.
What happened to they could score tons of points? They could keep up in a shootout. What happened to you don't have any? You don't got any? What's it called?
Henry keep Mahomes
You
off
don't.
the field.
Yeah, exactly. What happened to that? That was these arguments you guys were making for Patrick Mahomes. Where's all the analysis?
Homer.
Where's all the?
The last time the Chiefs played the Titans, they kept Derrick Henry contained, and they did their thing. Against Pittsburgh versus Buffalo, I'm also picking the Chiefs. So then we have Chiefs versus Chiefs. No, I'm kidding.
So wait, why can the Chiefs
Pittsburgh,
keep Derrick Henry contained, but the Ravens can't?
Like just how they've played, like their track record.
The one
Both
game
sides
that they
of the
played last year.
The 2 games that they played. Well, the game they played this year, they didn't contain Derrick Henry either.
What was the score in that game?
Derrick Henry ripped off like a 30-yarder to end the game in overtime.
So the Chiefs lost?
Wait, what? Oh no, I'm talking about the Ravens.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Chiefs versus Titans.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely just going off of the playoff.
One game that happened last year.
Indeed.
Oh.
And then Buffalo, Pittsburgh, choosing Josh Allen, 100%. Like I said, I would have picked Pittsburgh to lose to Cleveland if Cleveland was completely healthy. I just don't really have any faith in Pittsburgh whatsoever. Man, I still want to pick Pittsburgh so bad because Juju was like, the Browns are still the Browns, all those great faces. I really want the Browns to win so badly. So then I have Buffalo and Kansas City, the top 2. And I'm going to go with the better quarterback here, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. And they beat him earlier this year. Did they play last year? They didn't even play last year.
It's hard to beat a team twice, Joel.
I never said that. I was the one saying that it's easier to beat another. That brings it to what? Kansas City versus Green Bay. And right here, Patrick Mahomes gets his rightful MVP trophy and wins and beats Aaron Rodgers in the shootout. And Kansas City wins Super Bowl. Back to back. Patrick Mahomes has won. Will have won either MVP or Super Bowl MVP in the 3 years he's played. In his 3 first full seasons.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He's very good.
This sounds like
GOAT.
This might be the most homer bracket we have here, even more so than the Lemons one. You know what I'm saying?
I think Lemons still is, but it's close.
How is it? What?
No analysis on why the Chiefs get to win in these teams. No one.
I think the Chiefs are gonna. I think the Chiefs are gonna beat the Titans. What? And I think the Chiefs are gonna beat
the Chiefs.
The
barely
Bills?
beat the trucking Falcons, man.
That's not. But the Chiefs only lost 1 game.
And according to you, the Titans are like just a titan of offense, and they're just gonna casually lose to the Chiefs. Of course, they just casually lose.
It's more me being down on Baltimore than being super high on Tennessee.
How many points do you think Baltimore's gonna score? You don't think Baltimore's gonna score a lot of points against them? Did they not just go to overtime even in the game that they played this year?
I think they'll be in the low 30s, high 20s.
And so you think there's going to be a lot of points, and then they're just going to get shut down the next week by the Chiefs somehow? Like it's not
Yeah.
even going to be like. All right. I mean.
No, I mean I'm sure it's gonna be close. I'm not picking the Chiefs to blow out all these teams. I mean,
What do you think the score of the Chiefs Titans would be?
The Chiefs were down every. I thought we weren't picking score. Which game? The Chiefs.
Chiefs
Titans.
Titans. I want yeah.
I think both teams will score. Titans low.
I just
20s,
want the range.
Chiefs, high 20s, low 30s.
So it's just a normal game then.
7 to 10 point game. And the Bills, I think there's going to be a bunch of points. But I just trust the dude that's the dude.
Bills have a good defense. Could be a low scoring game.
I mean, all these games could be low scoring.
Those defenses.
To me, that's the best chance the Titans have.
Okay.
If the Titans get in any low scoring game, they're going to win that game. I just don't think the Titans are going to have a low scoring game in the playoffs because I think their defense is just too bad.
The defense is really good.
I mean, the Browns were blowing them to smithereens, and the only it's not like you have to stop Derrick Henry. If you get a lead on a running game, they can't keep running. Like they have to start passing to catch up. That's why the Titans don't want that kind of game.
But what happened last year was Baltimore just had a bad first.
The Titans aren't the same team as last year. The Titans used to have a good defense. Like it never was. Like the Titans used to argue. The Titans defense. They used to argue that they were better than the Jaguars. Like they were super salty in 2017. That everyone would talk about the Jags defense and never talk about the Titans. And then the same thing happened in 2018 when they made the playoffs. They did the same thing. But their defense isn't good anymore. Like their defense, like especially on third down, like the Titans played the Steelers and they only lost because of their defense. Like.
The Titans were down. The Titans got an early lead in the game in November, or almost. Oh, that was pretty. Almost December, the 22nd of November. I mean, they got up 7-3 in the first, but then they were down and they still pulled out the win.
Against who? Who are you talking about right now?
The Ravens. Against the Ravens.
Yeah, pull out the win in overtime, barely. And that was before the Ravens had hit the Ravens were in a bad state at that point still. The Ravens hadn't peaked yet. They hadn't been playing as well.
Right,
and
so,
how many points was scored in that game? It's in the 20s, right?
30-24.
Oh, never mind.
So yeah, it was just 24, which is like that. I'm saying if the Titans can hold people to that low amount of points, then I think they will win. If the Titans could keep people to 24 points, I think they would win every game. They'd probably win the Super Bowl. Like their offense is really good. Because I think Derrick Henry is playing out of his mind right now, and I think AJ Brown is
very balanced.
It's balanced and because Derrick Henry is so insane, and then I think that the passing game is good. Like I think Jonnu Smith and AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown's just a for sure number one receiver right now. Ryan Tannehill is playing good. Like he's not.
The Ravens only. I mean, the Ravens' quality win since that Titans loss was against the Browns.
Yeah.
The Browns still put up 42 points.
But
the 47-42.
Yeah, no, and to me that's the Ravens winning though. That is I don't think the Ravens are just going to give up 40 points every week. Have the Ravens what's it called? Lamar Jackson wasn't even in the game half the time.
I don't know, man.
The Ravens defense isn't the same as the Titans defense. It's not like you cherry pick that one game and be like, oh well, clearly the Ravens won't be able to stop the Titans. Everyone can stop the Titans for the first few series. That's how the Titans work. It is what it is. The Jaguars stopped the Titans the entire first half, and it's the Jaguars who are actually I don't know if we ended up doing it, but we were close to giving up the record for most points held by the trucking 2008 the 2008 Detroit Lions. It's easy to stop. It's easy to stop Derrick Henry early on because he's how he is. He's a big guy. You jump on him in the backfield. You're all hyped up. You clap your hands. He's 2-yard loss. Everyone gets all excited.
The Steelers the week after the Titans game.
COVID, I think.
Yeah. Was that the COVID game?
It was post-COVID is when they've been on their tear.
Yeah, indeed.
You're I don't know do you not think that they're on a tear?
Against these aren't.
You're so obsessed with you seem to think momentum is just not a thing just because it's bad teams. It's the NFL. It's hard to win.
I feel like getting
the Jets beat the Browns, and you said that the Browns would beat the Steelers.
I do think that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at the season within its entirety. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking.
But looking at the season in its entirety, most teams. I mean, it's momentum, man. If you look at the season in its entirety, the Seahawks a lot better than we think they are. But we're looking at the Seahawks lately, they're not as been good. But they had a bunch of quality wins at the beginning of the season. We just don't care about them because right now they're not playing as good football. Momentum is a thing. Playing good football currently is a real thing. Getting hot at this point is like a real thing.
Good
That's
for
like
you.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Just have
playing
Hamlin
against the Bengals and the
go.
Giants and the Jaguars is a little
To me,
different.
it kind of feels like you are a little bit anti the Ravens because it's like a kind of like a direct competition to the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. That's just the vibe I get. Whereas the Titans,
Well, I
you don't
feel
care
like
about you don't care about the Titans at all. So like when it comes to the Chiefs versus Titans, you're like, oh, of course, like, we just win. Like you didn't even give me an analysis for that game. But the Ravens game, you had like exactly why somehow that the Ravens would for sure lose to the Titans.
If I picked the Ravens if I picked the Ravens over the Titans and they played the Chiefs, was that yeah? That's how that would work
Like
out.
because you're picking the Titans over the Ravens. If the Titans beat the Ravens, then I'm starting to think, well, the Titans might just win the Super Bowl then. Like depending on how the game goes.
Like, again, I'm as a Chiefs fan, I'd be more scared of the Titans coming out of that game than the Ravens coming out of that game because the Chiefs Lamar doesn't play that great against.
Well, remember I didn't pick Lamar beating I picked Lamar losing to the Chiefs.
He said it out loud.
That's what I'm so what I would say in that situation is if the Titans did beat the Ravens, then I would actually pick the Titans to win against the Chiefs too. Whereas I picked the Chiefs to beat the Ravens because I think that the Chiefs do have Lamar's number.
And I went the other way.
Yeah, I know. Kind of super casual like. Truck the Titans. That's all this whole point was just to establish how bad the Titans are. Truck them. Derrick Henry's my father, but everyone else gets trucked.
He's still salty about Jarrell Casey a couple years ago. Just bashed the Jaguars.
Oh, Hamlin. Last, but not least.
So, NFC. We'll start out with the Saints and Bears. I think this one's going to be a little bit closer than y'all were thinking it was going to be. I think the Bears have been playing a lot better lately. They've been getting the run game with David Montgomery getting the boots with.
Yeah, but Hamlin, who are their opponents against?
The Saints have a great running game.
According to Joel, they played the Jaguars. That's not that good of a win lately. Their wins lately haven't been that good, Hamlin. The Jaguars. I mean,
but
who else did they play?
I still have the Saints winning this game.
Who did the Bears play? Who did the Bears play Week 17?
Yeah.
Chargers? I mean, that's an impressive win.
Packers.
Oh, Packers. And they lost. How did they make the playoffs?
Because the Cardinals.
Are they 8-8?
Cardinals lost.
The Cardinals lost.
They're 8-8 though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That's crazy.
Yes, they are 8-8.
Yeah.
The NFC is not good this year, Sean.
Yeah, NFC's bad. But
has there ever been two teams under 500 or 500 and below in the playoffs before?
Two.
I was saying, has that ever happened where there was two that weren't above 500?
Probably not, because there's an extra spot this year. So.
Indeed, that's how. I forgot about that.
The Bears would not have made the playoffs last year.
But yeah, so the Saints, their defense is top 5, and they're just really well coached. I think they're going to win the game. Seahawks, Rams. So this one I really could see going either way because the Rams do really match up well with the Seahawks. But in this kind of game, I got to roll with the better quarterback. Russell Wilson significantly better than John Walford. So I'm going to take the Seahawks.
He doesn't play like that versus the Rams, though.
I think, listen, Water's got to find its level at some point. And Russell Wilson, I think, is going to take care of business against the Rams. I can't see Russell Wilson keep continuing to lay eggs against the Rams like that, especially in the playoffs.
That'd be real rip.
Indeed.
Russell Wilson. I think that's going to happen.
And I think the Seahawks are going to win that one. And then the football team versus the Bucks. Brady does struggle against pass rush, but I can't pick the football team in something like that.
Yes, I got it.
As much as I would like to see Brady lose this game, I just cannot see them losing to the football team. So we got Green Bay versus the Bucks. Bucks going to Green Bay. I think Green Bay beats them because I think it's going to be a cold weather game. Brady's no stranger to cold weather, but I think the rest of the team is. And I think Aaron Rodgers thrives. Aaron Rodgers is playing at MVP level. I think
it doesn't deter you that they lost really badly to the Bucks earlier.
No, I think Aaron Rodgers. He's just got that personality that like he has something to prove now against the Bucks. He's just
if the Bucks play the Packers in the playoffs, I would pick the Bucks.
I would pick the Bucks.
Well, I'm picking the Packers, so
Indeed.
Indeed.
Wait,
So
why
then we
didn't?
got-
Why
Take
did?
into account the
Hold on, how did the
Colorado, or
Bucks
you
play the Packers in that situation? It's because I had the Seahawks
Aaron
beat the.
Rodgers had a bad
It's
game.
because I didn't have the Rams
Oh,
win.
you're
That's how it
talking-
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, so the Saints and Seahawks. I think the Saints win this game. I don't have much analysis for this one. It's just
Mhm.
I think the Saints are just better, so I think they win that game. And then we got Green Bay versus New Orleans. New Orleans going to Green Bay. I think Drew Brees is going to struggle a little bit outdoors in the cold and in the elements.
Hey, everybody got the Packers.
The Packers advance to the Super Bowl. And then the AFC, Bills Colts. There is a path to victory for the Colts here. They would have to run the ball very well through Jonathan Taylor, pound the ball, keep the offense of the Bills off the field. And the defense would have to force some turnovers, maybe some special teams help. But with all that being said, I think the Bills just boat race the Colts here. Their offense has been ridiculous the past 3 weeks. They scored average 48 points a game for the last 3 weeks.
If Josh Allen does some of those laterals that he was doing last playoff
that's
game.
also a path to victory. Josh Allen just chokes again like last year. But
You didn't factor into the point that I want the Colts to lose, and that just makes it feel like the Colts are going to win. So that's just how it works in the playoffs.
The Bills.
It's a pretty big like.
The Colts defense has dropped off a little bit from the beginning of the season. I'd say they're good, but not elite. I'd say they're in the 8 to 12 range, probably top 8 to 12 defenses.
What teams are you putting in front of them? So, Ham, I think you're overrating just how good defense is in the NFL right now. Period.
No, there are no good defenses in the NFL. This year has been a terrible year for defense.
I'm saying okay.
Literally.
So
I think your defense is elite this year.
Okay, but in a normal year they would be in the 8 to 12 range. That's my point. They're not that good of a defense. I mean, they are good, but
everything's gotta be relative, Ham. When everything's gotta be relative.
Yeah, but relative to a normal year, they're going to be in the 8 to 12 range. That's what they're
relative means.
That's what they're playing like. It's a normal year, 8 to 12 range. That's my point. And the Bills, I think their offense is just ridiculous this year. So that there is that small path to victory for the Colts, but I think the Bills win.
Colts.
Truck the Colts.
Indeed, and go Colts. If I'm gonna be a Chamba, I would just have the Colts advance. but no, I'm gonna go with my logic one.
There's nothing wrong with it.
And the Bills are gonna win that game. So then the Steelers Browns. If the Browns didn't have all the ripness going on, I would have picked them because I don't think the Steelers are playing very good football lately. But I will pick the Steelers because you cannot overcome having all your coaching staff out for the whole week before and not going to be at the game.
It's done, man.
And losing your second best defensive player.
Like I don't even think I really don't think the players even matter. Like losing your entire coaching staff is insanity. Like
and lose two of your 3 best offensive
This isn't even going to be one of those games where I feel like it's like a low scoring blowout. I feel like this is one of those games where it's like I think it's just one of the, I think it's one of those games where the Steelers go up 28-0 and then they just sit on it because there's literally no chance that the Browns can win. It's like
the spread is on a 6 still. Like how is it?
I would be my score is that I feel like it would be like the final score is going to be like 30 something to 3, and it's going to be like the backups on the Steelers in the fourth quarter because there's just nothing like the Browns just can't move the ball.
So the Browns were having trouble against the Steelers backups. TJ Watt wasn't even playing last week. And the Browns, Baker Mayfield's his best off the bootlegs. That's how they're getting him going lately to hide his badness. And they're not going to be able to do that when TJ Watt's in there and Cam Hayward and all that.
They're not going to be able to do that when they can't call plays correctly. They'll call bootleg right into a sack on the first play of the game or something.
Is out. He's the run game designer.
Like how many points are they gonna score?
10.
6.
Yeah, the Steelers defense is elite, probably the best defense in the NFL, or them or the Rams, I'd say. But
they're gonna score 3 points going into the fourth, and they're gonna score a touchdown.
Garbage time.
Yeah, I think the Steelers handle this one pretty easily. And then Titans Ravens. This is the true toss up of the week for both NFC and AFC in my opinion.
Oh, the Ravens are favored, by the way, Joel. They're favored by 3.
That's what I said.
But they're favored by 3 at home, which means on a neutral field, what? They're favored by 1? Or no, it's push. It's 0.
Even. It's a push.
Even.
So I think the Ravens, the way they would lose here is if the Titans get Derrick Henry rolling.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Ravens have chokes. Yeah, I think the Ravens have the personnel to stop the run. They're on paper they are a good defense, even if they haven't been playing up to their potential. I think they can get it together in the playoffs. And the Titans' defense is atrocious, like Sterling said before. And I think the Ravens are going to handle this one pretty well. I think they're going to be still pissed off about last year and this season. They got a lot of billboard material building up for them. I think the Ravens win this one.
Any more fuck the Titans? Any more for the road?
Indeed.
Truck the tits. That's what we say.
So, and then we got KC Baltimore. I think Kansas City wins this one. Patrick Mahomes just outduels Lamar. And then Buffalo, Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh.
When is Lamar ever going to beat Patrick Mahomes?
Listen, I said it could happen, but I'm going to need to see it before I start ever picking it that way.
We're going to see it.
There's probably going to be some regular season nonsense.
And then even if Lamar beats the Chiefs, then the Bills are going to beat them. Josh Allen.
So
the actual best AFC quarterback this year. Get wrecked. How does it feel, Joel? Patrick Mahomes, you hit yourself to the Chiefs a little bit too early there, Joel, because now the Bills are going to be winning Super Bowls every year now.
Colin Cowherd did have a segment today that was like, is Josh Allen the same as Patrick Mahomes?
He's better.
He said yes.
He's better.
He said, I mean,
listen, Josh Allen is faster. He's faster, and he's a stronger arm.
There's a report that there's some executives that would take Josh Allen from this point on as their franchise quarterback
over Mahomes.
Over Mahomes.
Listen, man.
That's pretty.
Listen, I'd have to look into it. I don't listen. I can't get past that the Chiefs almost lost to the Falcons, man.
I know.
And they almost lose to the Chargers. Like, yeah, they win all those games, but they just don't look good. Joel, they're so stacked. You guys should be blowing every. When are we gonna get to see the Chiefs play to their potential? When are we gonna get the 50-point games out of them? They should be scoring 50 points like consistently, not like every week, but they should have three 50-point games this year, especially with the way the offenses have been. Versus the defenses.
Take it up with them, man. They play down their.
See, this is why it would be cool to see the Chiefs versus the Titans. If we get to see it, because I don't think the Titans could beat the Ravens, and if they did, I don't think we would get the same kind of Titans that I'm expecting. But let's say the Chiefs got to play the Titans first, then we would get to see the 70 points that the Chiefs would score on them. Because Titans defense is so bad. It's so bad, guys.
So Buffalo, Pittsburgh.
That was another spot for Truck the Titans right there.
Indeed. Buffalo, Pittsburgh. Obviously got Buffalo winning. I just think Pittsburgh hasn't been playing good football. Buffalo's been playing amazing football. They're going to keep it going against Pittsburgh. So KC, Buffalo. I got Kansas City winning because I think their offense is better and their defense is better, just straight up.
So we were the same up until the championship game.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Buffalo goes into Kansas City. Is Kansas City allowed to have any fans? Do we know?
Yeah, they are.
Those KC fans are pretty crazy, so they'll have some kind of home field advantage.
Has Josh Allen been playing in the cold any of these weeks? Has it been snowing or anything? Yeah, I know, but I didn't know if the games were home or not in these weeks.
Yeah, he has. He's fine in the cold, I think.
Yeah, he's a cannon.
Yeah, then KC versus Green Bay in the Super Bowl. I got Kansas City winning the Super Bowl against Green Bay. I think Green Bay's defense isn't that great.
Where is the Super Bowl? It's in Miami, right?
Yeah,
that was last year?
Yeah. Tampa Bay.
Oh, it is in Tampa Bay,
I think,
because Tom Brady was supposed to be the first quarterback to play in his home city Super Bowl.
Skip Bayless?
People, 100%. Yeah, it was Skip. It was, indeed. I was going to say just those people, then it was indeed just Skip.
So, yeah, I got Kansas City beating Green Bay in the Super Bowl.
We have pretty similar brackets there, Hamlin.
Indeed.
Well, it's very when it comes to the Josh Allen coming out party, getting to the AFC Championships would still count. My only idea with this is he's going to be like a household name. Everybody's be like, oh yeah, Josh Allen's really good. So it's entirely possible. I only picked the Bills to beat the Chiefs because of how Joel is just so nonchalant about all. You need what do they call it? A reality check, as they say.
And
you need to come back to Earth.
Is my reality check.
Sterling, you remember when the Jags fans used to say y'all had the good Josh Allen? Indeed.
How things can flip.
You guys want to do the draft now?
Hold on, I just wanted to say. Oh yeah, how long have we gone? But
no clue.
like I was saying, we may not need to add the draft. Also, we just drafted, pretty much. But I was gonna say with your bracket, Hamlin, if your bracket if it goes that way, I feel like there's a good chance that the Bucks could, like, if the Bucks don't have to play the Saints, and they don't have to play just the
They
Saints,
have to
right?
play the Saints in the championship game.
Well,
though.
not if the Rams beat the Saints. I mean, not the Seahawks. If the Seahawks beat the Saints, like,
Yeah.
I think the Bucks could beat the Seahawks, and I think that they would roll the Packers. Like, maybe not in the playoffs. They'd just win.
I don't think the Seahawks would beat the Saints.
Yeah, I don't think the Seahawks
Yeah.
would beat the Saints either. But if that happened, I think
Yeah.
Tom Brady would
Yes.
go to the Super Bowl.
If all of these ifs happen, then I agree.
Because it's Washington
Also-
and then the Packers.
Also, if the Bucks just beat the Saints, then
Yeah,
they'd be in the
but we know
Super
that can't happen.
Bowl. It's against the rule.
But yeah. Oh, we
The
should.
only team that the only team that Saints would lose to would be the Packers in the NFC.
Well, the only thing the Saints. I don't think the Saints are that good, but I don't think the NFC is that good. I think the Packers are good, but I think that they're kind of match up badly against the Bucks. I don't even know if it's a matchup badly. I think, like, I don't know, it's Rodgers has like some mental hurdles or something. I just don't see, for some reason, I can't see the Rodgers beating Brady.
The Saints would lose to like a Viking sort of team of old, like they.
I mean,
did.
they lost
That
last
had,
year
like,
to
That's what
that
I'm saying.
team.
Like they did. Like if there was a team in the playoffs.
See,
that
the
had
Saints
a
don't
good
consistently
offense
they don't
and a
consistently lose to the
great
same
defense.
kind of team. I feel like the Saints just lose heartbreaking games to all kinds of teams, all
So
shapes and
it was,
sizes. They lost to the
was,
Beastquake 7-9.
the Rams. The Rams and the Vikings are similar teams, led by their defense. Their offense is kind of spotty.
The Vikings offense was way better than that Rams.
And remember,
offense.
the
It
Saints
was,
the Saints
but
also
the Rams defense was much
the Saints
better
also played
than Vikings defense that
the
year.
Saints also played the Eagles close with Nick Foles that year too. And their offense
Indeed.
isn't that crazy. Like, I mean, the Saints don't win easily in the playoffs. It's always just
Poor Saints
hard,
fans.
and then they lose. This is what happens.
They got one break after Katrina, and it's been downhill ever since.
Indeed.
Well, they won the Super Bowl.
That's what he
That's when he just
They
said,
had one
Oh.
break after Katrina.
"Dummy,
Dumbass.
I thought you were saying something else.
dumb." This guy had Bucks winning the Super Bowl. Look at him. Look at him.
Everyone point and laugh.
But yeah,
Tom just thinking, oh, I hope once the Bucks win, I'm gonna rub it in your.
in reality,
You
though,
got
in
You
reality,
got it on camera?
is there really a playoffs this year when Trevor Lawrence isn't in the league yet? I mean, it's kind of just a wash. We're all just waiting, biding our time for the true NFLs to start.
Next year.
The
Let's make
true
Justin Fields guy
NFL.
now.
Listen, if Urban Meyer comes to the Jaguars, we're
Stop
gonna go 10-6 next year. You heard it here first. We're gonna win the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback.
True.
We're
You're
gonna
too
win the
invested.
Super Bowl
You're too invested.
with
Drop
a
back.
rookie quarterback.
back.
And nothing can stop me. And if we don't, I'm jumping in the lake when it's negative 5 degrees.
Drop back.
So it's up to Trevor Lawrence to save me. You heard it here first.
You're too invested.
Is he a real? I think I saw somewhere that's saying that you guys are interviewing.
Oh yeah, he was in there today. I mean, I think it's just one of those things. Like, he's as real as a candidate as he wants to be. It's his job if he wants it.
Are y'all paying him $12 million?
Oh, 100%. Our owner, that's the thing. Our owner can easily afford that.
It doesn't go against the cap, right?
No.
No.
We listen. Our owner should have been doing this with any of the coaching candidates before, but we always picked jabronis.
Chad Khan wants final say on these.
Yeah, people are running with that like so crazily. Like, he didn't. It's not like he said like I'm like taking total control of the rostering and like I'm like he meant like you won't be able to trade Jalen Ramsey away. And it's not even about trading him away, because obviously he took final say for that. He already I think it was going to happen. Do you remember with the Jalen Ramsey trade? There was rumors that the Ravens were offering 1 first and a tight end, and that was all they were offering.
I do remember that.
And I remember they were saying like if Chad Khan had stepped in, that Tom Coughlin, that's the trade they would have taken, because Tom Coughlin just wanted them gone. Because Tom Coughlin's one of the old school people. It's like, oh, he's not a good player. He's not building for the culture of the team.
Chad Khan's not going to let someone Bill O'Brien you.
Literally. And I think he also means, because the whole reason we got so much fallout with Unique Ngakoue and Jalen Ramsey is contract negotiations. When it came to Jalen Ramsey, they literally said because he came because he wanted to get locked up early. He said, "I'll give you a discount if you give it to me early." And they just so like they I guess they tried to like do it, and he was kind of like, you know how they lowballed him or whatever, and then they just said like, well, we have you for 2 more years, so come back because we can fifth year option him. And then the Unique Ngakoue one was just like they started bringing up his stats against the run. They were like, oh, well, like you don't play that well against the run. I don't understand, man. But yeah, I think that's what he means by. I don't think it's like Jerry Jones or something where he's like drafting our players. I think it's just like when it comes to he's gonna be like Jalen Ramsey, you better resign him. Don't lowball him. Like we have to keep him. And like same with Unique Ngakoue.
Hope so.
I mean, no, you don't.
Indeed. Hope so for your sake.
Listen, man. If I know the thing about Urban is like he like retires, but those years before he retires, we're gonna be pretty good.
They're good years.
Listen,
They're good years.
if he goes 5 years, I think we could win a Super Bowl in 5 years.
Bowl?
I think we could win a Super Bowl in 5 years. Like, obviously, I was acting crazy a second ago, but like in 5 years we could win a Super Bowl with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna go 10-6 and win the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback.
That Andrew Luck, man.
Yeah, but you had Ryan Grigson.
What'd you guys win? You went like 8-8 or something that year?
What? No, they went 11-5.
9-7.
They went 11-5 over and over again.
5 his first year.
Oh,
First 3 years.
Oh, but it was the thing where
yeah, they could only beat
won
AFC South opponents.
6-0.
They had 14 games in a row against AFC South opponents.
16.
16 games in a row. But if we get Urban Meyer, I think he is good at building programs, and it's not just him with really good. Like he was at Bowling Green and he was at Utah, and he did the same things there. I think he's one of those like CEO type coaches. He's the thing about Urban Meyer that's really good is he's really good at hiring like underling coaches. That's like what he's like.
Is he an offensive guy?
Like yeah, but he's more of a culture builder. He's the kind of guy that like hires people, but he's really good at that though. He's really good at hiring like secondary coaches. I don't think he calls plays. I think he builds game plans and things like that though too. I'm like, and obviously everyone brings up the Justin Fields thing. I don't think he never even had Justin Fields. He just recruited him there. Like
I'm hoping. Like he didn't recruit him. Justin Fields came from Georgia.
Yeah, he recruited him from Georgia.
Did he?
Yeah, he's the one that was.
Are you sure that wasn't Day?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because he hadn't left yet. He left right before Justin Fields got there. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Like he didn't ever coach him, but he like recruited him there. And it's one of those things like I think he would have recruited Trevor Lawrence if he could have. Like,
right.
I don't know. I was like starting to feel like kind of worried about Trevor Lawrence, but that's just more of like being a Jags fan. But now I've just been seeing so much stuff and watching stuff. I'm convinced he's the real deal, man. It's crazy.
Well, I hope he tears his ACL.
That's
Oh my god.
very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm joking.
If we get Urban Meyer though, I think we'll win. I think we'll win more than 5 games. It all depends on what we sign. We have to fix a lot of our defensive problems. But yeah, I think we've gone long enough. We don't need to do the draft this week.
All right.
So we can push that one again.
Sounds good.
Hopefully I get this thing edited and put up. Maybe I'll do that right now. But to all of the 5 people that will see this week and a million people that'll watch this in 2 years when we're super famous, this is this Untitled Podcast again. Signing off.
Signing off.
Catch you on the flippity flip.